GirlReeny. Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. If you want to see how I made this super cute setup, keep on watching. Alright, so of course we're going to get started by putting the clusters together. If you want to see how I put the balloon clusters together, I do have another video that is more detail oriented. But for this video, I'm just going to go through it really quickly. The balloon sizes that I am using are 5 inches, 12 inches, and 18 inches. I'm using 4 different colors. I will list all 4 different colors and their brand in the description box below. So if you want to check that out, it is there for you to see. My 18 clusters, I did 4 balloons in each cluster, except for that blue one on the end. I realized that it was too big, so for the rest of them, I only did 4. The 12 inches, I did 6 balloons in each cluster. All right. So what I'm doing now is I'm making the base. That's how I like to start my balloon garlands. After I make my clusters, I like to put a base together. That's what you see me doing here. I'm doing that by tying the necks together. This is my favorite method. There are multiple methods that you can use. If you feel more comfortable doing it in other ways, go for it. For me personally, I will forever love tying my necks. It keeps them nice and snug. It's sturdy and they're not going anywhere. You know, makes the balloon garland nice and strong. All of that. So I'm tying the necks together and I'm making multiple bases. This is a bigger setup, so I do need multiple starting points at different areas of the setup. So that's what I'm doing here. Alright, so after you've made all your bases, you should still have a bunch of clusters left over, obviously because these are going to be the balloons that you use to fill in your garland and shape it out and give it life. So this is the night before the event. Obviously, you do want to prep as much as you can beforehand just to make the day of much easier for yourself. And it's no balloon setup for me if something like this doesn't happen. Bro, I swear, as slow as you see me falling, that's exactly the speed I felt that I was actually falling. But back to what I was saying, you do want to prepare as much as you can beforehand just to make the most of your time on the day of setup. So I'm putting together my backdrops. I'm tightening this. If you look carefully, you'll see it smooth out. You see that right there? You see how that just smoothed it out nicely? I do show you guys how to do that. I use a spring clamp and I just tighten it from the back, and I use the spring clamp to hold that knot in place. You've seen it. I'm sorry I didn't show it in this video, but I have shown it in other videos. You can check it out. Alright, so it was my intention to put some vinyl writing on the backdrop, but I ended up buying the wrong transfer tape. I bought the super strong grip and the vinyl was not peeling off of the transfer tape, so I just had to scrap it. Child, forget about it. It wasn't a big deal. I did go ahead and make my own Bluey and Bingo cutouts. I used the Cricut machine and I printed it on my own printer. It wasn't my best work. I was rushing, but it got the job done. So here I am now outside setting up the rest of the backdrop. As you can see, again, there are 3 frames. I may or may not do a video on these frames, just giving you guys more details or review, whatever. I'm not sure. I'm not promising. I'm not making any promises. But if you do want the details on where I got these frames from, I'll be more than happy to let you know. Just let me know, okay? Now, I'll send you the details. I'll send you the info. So these backdrop covers, if I haven't said that, I feel like I did, but just in case I didn't, these backdrop covers are from Amazon. The frames are not from Amazon. These are not Amazon frames, but the backdrop covers are from Amazon, and they come in a set of 3 for these specific sizes, obviously. And they're the same brand of backdrop covers that I always buy. I have no problems with backdrop covers, so I just keep buying the same brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach the spring clamps to the backdrops in places where I know I want to secure my garland. I'm also attaching a 260Q balloon, which I tie in a loop, and then I loop it around 2 balloons in the garland, and that normally snatches it nicely onto the backdrop. It was hella windy that morning, let me tell you. So you guys, I took some blocks that I had and I put them on the bottom of the frame, on the feet of the frame, to help keep them from falling over. I would have put weights on it anyways, but I felt like I had to put, and I didn't feel like I had to put more than usual because it was mad windy that day, so windy. But yes, right now I'm just going ahead and attaching all of my bases in the spots that I want to start. I made 3 bases originally. I decided that I wanted to add another one, so I'm just making a quick one right here. I'm going to attach it to the opposite side right here. And again, I'm just using spring clamps and a 260Q balloon that I made a loop and just wrap it around or loop it around 2 of those balloons. All right, and now we're gonna get into the fun part. This is where we're gonna add in our clusters. We're gonna create some shape. We're gonna give the balloon garland a little character. We're gonna add our little own pizzazz. You know, just get creative, have fun with it. And I'm adding these clusters in by tying the necks. I'm just continuing to tie the necks to put this thing together. Okay, so remember I said that it's super windy out there, so I needed to secure these balloons to make sure they weren't going to be blowing all over the place. So I filled a few of these balloons with some water, and I'm going to use them as weights to hold the balloon garland in place and to prevent it from moving all over and swaying and fraying and all of that in the wind. So same concept, you're just going to take the neck of that water balloon and tie it with another neck of a balloon in the garland at the places where you want to weigh down. All right, so after we've played around with the shape and we feel like we like where it's going, now this is the point where you're gonna go ahead and add in those fillers. I'm adding in some 5-inch balloons. I like using 4 balloons in each cluster, so a quad, to make my fillers. So this is the only step where I do not tie the neck of the balloon. I'm using an elastic band, which I attach obviously to the cluster of 4, the filler, and then attach it to the balloon garland. Just loop it around one of the balloons. The wind wanted to take my garland out so bad, but luckily later on in the day, the wind did die down, so everything was okay. But yes, that is pretty much all I did. That is the finished product. I did go ahead and attach the cutouts that I had made off camera later on, which I didn't get to record. Sorry about that, guys. And again, the vinyl decal I wasn't able to do because I bought the wrong transfer tape. So anyways, this is the final look. It still came out great. It still served its purpose. My son really enjoyed it. So that's all that matters, right? Let me know what you think. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.